Luca Toni starts on his home turf tonight. Let's get straight to the Italian starting lineup named by coach Lippi. Buffon's back, having missed the last 9 internationals with that shoulder problem. The back four, Zaccardo, Nesta, Cannavaro and Grosso. Midfield 3, combative of course. Del Piero, Toni and Gilardino, the same front 3 as took on the Ivory Coast in Italy's last international outing. As for the Germans tonight, Jens Lehmann gets the nod. No Oliver Kahn in this squad at the moment as they battle for the number 1 jersey ahead of the World Cup, or should that be number 9 jersey, as you may spot tonight. Chelsea's Robert Huth starts, and potentially Chelsea's newest signing, Michael Ballack, lines up here. Some say he's heading to Stamford Bridge in the summer. That remains to be seen. What a big night this is indeed for Luca Toni, and it's the first chance for me to bring in my co-commentator alongside me here tonight, Joe Jordan. He plays tonight, Joe, on his home turf. This game generally, though, teed up rather nicely.
Yeah, you mentioned Luca Toni, but if you look at the game, there's a lot of players that are there from both sides, out to impress their managers. They're getting very, very close to the World Cup, and it's at this moment in time where he'll be just tinkering with his final squad. But the game in itself, you know, between Italy and Germany is a huge game. You know, two very strong football nations who have got a fantastic tradition and history. But it's about these players tonight, how they can perform.
The ceremonial kickoff has been completed, and we're ready to start for real here. Of course, it's Italy in blue and white attacking the goal to our right-hand side. The Germans predominantly in red attacking the goal away to our left. And there is the man who some say will be joining Chelsea in a small matter of £120,000 a week. Don't believe everything you read, though. Confirmation of the lineups there. And our referee tonight, Eduardo Gonzalez, is just about ready to get us off and underway here. A Spanish referee, born in Bilbao, now lives near Alaves. A referee for some 25 years so far. This is the only friendly international organised by Italy before the World Cup finals. Others could be organised, though, between now and then, depending on whether or not Italian teams get to the Champions League final and how that Serie A season finishes up. It is all set up rather nicely here, too. Heavyweights of the world game. First chance for Germany to try and push on. Sebastian Deisler's ball is too far forward. And Joe, James said in his introduction to us, these will be favourites when the tournament comes around. Just where are they in your pecking order for what you expect to happen this summer?
Well, I think that there's an added pressure on Germany, obviously, because it's in their home territory. But I think these sort of nations, they have that pressure and they handle it well. But you're looking at countries like this getting at least to the semi-finals. In Germany's case, with that added pressure, they'll obviously be looking to win it. And Italy, I remember a number of years back seeing Italy playing Germany in Spain in '82, and that was a fantastic final. And they have a great tradition, and I'm sure the pressure will be on them to win it as well.
There's Del Piero, Gilardino and Toni, the target men from the cross there. Italy will take their time over this throw. Interesting to see this midfield 3 of De Rossi, Pirlo and Camoranesi, and just how they will interchange. Just wonder how much we read, Joe, into this starting lineup and whether this is Lippi's out-and-out first choice, strongest 11, fitness aside, if this is who he goes with.
Well, there was a close profile there on Del Piero. You know, Del Piero is fighting away in the Juventus line-up along with a couple of other strikers there. But he is a marvellous player, and when he has his start on, in some cases when he's come on, Del Piero, he's done the business. But Marcello Lippi, who has been his club manager for a number of years, he knows him inside out. But I'm sure there is still a lot of thoughts in his mind getting this opportunity tonight, and he'll want to impress his manager, and along with the 2 other strikers. Not only do we want to be impressed, but we want to show that he can play with these 2 other guys. You know, Toni has come in, he's done very, very well. Gilardino, he's made the move. and he's with Milan, and he's handling the pressure with a big club. So what it's about is the individual performance of these players, but also how they play together.
Did see a shot there of Luca Toni, who joined Fiorentina, of course, in summer of 2005 and plays here on his home patch. Down goes Fabio Grosso. Rather cynically felled as he pushed forward. Torsten Frings with the challenge in and just clips the ankles there. Nothing too much in it, though.
It was a bit of a long jump at the end. I think Frings is a little bit disappointed in his adversary there, his opponent, but he did go and he got the tackle wrong, and it's given them a chance to put a little bit extra and early pressure on Lehmann.
Jens Lehmann in the starting lineup here, and desperate to prove he is Germany's #1. First chance for Italy from a set piece. It's Alessandro Del Piero who stands over it, looking for a good delivery, gets one as well, and it's in inside the first 4 minutes, and it's Alberto Gilardino. And Italy lead here. The home fans on their feet. What a start.
Well, that's an incredible start, and it just goes to show that you can't give any silly free kicks away. Frings has found out this ball's been played on, and it's a fairness of touch. I mean, I've got to say, it's a fantastic save by Lehmann, but the follow-up is there. I mean, you just look at the number of Italian players that are in there, and they're ready to pounce, so they act the quickest. But it's a great ball played in by Del Piero. The faintest of touches there. I think it could have been Cannavaro.
It was Ballack who lost his man, Joe. And you'd expect better there from Michael Ballack. He's a big man.
Well, he is. I mean, and not only is he a big man, but he is good in the air. But it's just the concentration factor. What happening so quick. And they've just been punished, Germany, from the free kick onwards. You know, that they have given it away. But from that moment, you've got to put it aside and realise that you've got to defend that set play, and they failed to do so. I mean, I've got to say, Andy, I thought from early doors, I think they were a little bit too deep, you know. When that ball arrives, it's more or less in the 6-yard box from Cannavaro, I think, is the one that's touched it. But I give credit to Lehmann. I mean, he did his part, but his defenders didn't help him.
Sebastian Deisler stands over this free kick as Germany have a chance to attack from a set piece now. Lahm will knock it back in. Here is Robert Huth, who was desperately scrambling on the line there to try and stop that shot from Gilardino. Deisler stabs it back. It's Lahm who goes square and will pick out Arne Friedrich. And he heard the Berlin player, making his 32nd appearance for his country. Frings forward. Friedrich on the overlap. And here is Podolski, a man for whom much is expected. 20 caps, 10 goals. Likes to drift wide. Camoranesi will intercept there as they look to try and pick out Schneider. So often I find myself saying this, Joe, when I see Mauro Camoranesi play. His work rate, his work ethic, he covers so many miles on a football pitch.
Well, I think that's the compliment that is given to him and the midfield three, you know. I think they have got to complement each other. Whether you've got Pirlo, who is a player.
I'll just interrupt here. This is a golden opportunity for Italy now. Surely there's an offside flag there, is there? Luca Toni celebrates. The goal stands. And what a start this is for Italy. Luca Toni with his 7th goal for Italy. In his 16th game. He scores on his home turf.
Well, you mentioned what a start for Italy, but what a start for Germany. I mean, it's absolutely an incredible situation here. And I've got to say, yes, he is square. It's a lovely little gift for him. Just put that, slide it into the net. But Germany, who we associate with really mean defences, have really got themselves in a twist, in turmoil, and find themselves inside a short period of time, just 7 minutes on the clock, and they're 2-0 down. Incredible start.
What a start indeed. I must be honest, didn't expect to start quite like this, and I'm not sure many of you at home would have done either, but what a start it is for Italy. sure that's put a smile on the face of the boys back in the studio. What Carlo Cudicini makes of the goalkeeping. Paul Jens Lehmann made a fine save for the first goal, beaten by the second effort, and then his defence really let him down there. Here's Podolski's cross, drilled in by Ballack. Pushing forward here is Deisler. Also is there to block. Falls rather nicely for Torsten Frings. Floated in. Out comes Buffon, and Miroslav Klose was looking to try and pick up that loose ball. Had a bit of a hack at it. Just a slight bit of panic there, perhaps.
Well, it's a decent ball played in there by Fring. I mean, you've got a little bit of indecision there, and you would have really liked a little bit more of an understanding between those two players there, but they got away with it. You know, they have played a number of times in the past at international level as well, and really they should be a little bit of talking, but they got away with it. That's the main thing from Italy's point of view, and there's a worried man there.
It's like a rabbit caught in the headlines. Jürgen Klinsmann, the Germany coach, won't believe how his side have gone down by a couple of goals, and can only wonder what they make of it back in Germany tonight with the World Cup fast approaching. Hopes high of a successful tournament. And Marcello Lippi will be more than happy, and it just changes the complexity of this game. It may well be a friendly, Joe, but Germany won't want to experience a rout here.
Well, I think they've got to express themselves and fight and try and get back into this game, because there's a lot of these lads in certain positions. It is a young team, and they've got to try and express themselves in a way where they can demonstrate to their manager Klinsmann that they've got what it takes to go over a setback, and this is a major setback. You know, to be coming up to 10 minutes and be 2-0 down away from home. It's not often it happens like that, but you know, we've seen German teams in the past and German players, and we always attach the resilience to them, and they've got to show that tonight.
Tug on the shirt there of Michael Ballack. Free kick is taken quickly, and you can see there Andrea Pirlo committing the foul, and he just has a nudge from behind on Ballack, which the German took exception to. You talk about the inexperience of the German backline, particularly, Joe, that there's only one player over 25. That's Arne Friedrich, the right back. He's 26 years of age. Robert Huth's 21. Philipp Lahm's 22. Pierre Mertesacker is 21. So real inexperience there amongst the German backline.
There is, and they've got to get a little bit of guidance. I mean, you've got the goalkeeper, Lehmann, who is relatively experienced compared with them. I mean, he is an older player, and he has played a number of international games. But you look at someone like Ballack, he, for me, he is a leader with Bayern Munich, and he's got to demonstrate that he's a leader with his nation. I mean, he is an experienced player, and he is a world-class player.
And there he is, making the pass. It looked for a moment as though it was going to be a loose pass, and possession would be given away. But here is Schneider now. He'll have a go for goal from distance, and Buffon had to be alert to it. In the end, it was well over the bar, but Schneider not afraid to shoot from distance.
Yeah, it's not a bad effort. I mean, this is his second attempt. One came from across, but Buffon eventually held it at the second attempt in that one there. But it is encouraging, you know, for Germany. They've got to show that they're still in this game, and to do that, they've got to come at Italy. They've got to, I wouldn't say open up, but they have certainly got to get at them.
There is Arne Friedrich away, the Hertha Berlin man, called up in 2002 by Rudi Völler, having only played in 2 Bundesliga matches. He went on to play 3 games at Euro 2004. Free kick has been given in Italy's favour, though, and once again, Alessandro Del Piero stands over it. They scored from this sort of position in the 4th minute. What can they do here in the 13th? Gilardino, Tony, De Rossi, all looking to make runs here. And Lehmann will comfortably scoop it up, and that's the first touch really in open play that Jens Lehmann has had, other than scooping the ball out of the back of his own net twice.
Yeah, and I thought they defended it better. I think they held a higher line there and kept the Italian players out and gave Lehmann a better chance. I thought in the first three it resulted in a goal. I thought they were too deep, and I mean it was a fantastic reaction save from Lehmann, but he couldn't really hold it. And the German defenders, or everyone that was back there to do it, we were asked to do a job, didn't do it. They didn't react to the second ball. This resulted in Italy going 1-0 up.
Quick word there for Cristian Zaccardo from his manager, the Palermo man. Relatively inexperienced at this level. This is 11th cap tonight. Here's Jens Lehmann, who is out of contract this summer. Believed to have been offered a contract extension by Arsene Wenger. Yet to be agreed, though. Philippe Lahm midfield, and Ballack just drops back and goes from left to right here. And here is Arne Friedrich. Torsten Frings is square. Coming rather deeper is Sebastian Deisler. Friedrich goes all the way back to Mertesacker.
Yeah, you just Friedrich there getting the ball, but it was closed down immediately by Del Piero. You know, you don't associate someone with his ability. I think sometimes that is overlooked. You know, the Premier front three are Italy. Each one of them, you know, two big strikers and Del Piero, they split in such a way that they try and get on top of the two centre-backs and either full-backs. So they're doing the job also without the ball and also, as we've seen, with the ball. So that's a good start for the front three and overall a good start for Italy.
Well, it's a chance now for Germany to try and claw one of these goals back. They're looking for Lukas Podolski wearing 20. Play is broken down. And Luca Toni, that would have meant so much for him to score here as a Fiorentina player in Florence for his country. Top scorer in Serie A this season so far with 22 goals in 27 games. And Mertesacker finds Friedrich. Frings. Goes down under the challenge. Torsten Frings on the double with Bayern Munich last season in his first season with the club, but then moved on to Werder Bremen for around €6 million, and he was sent tumbling to the ground there. Germany have the free kick, 15 minutes gone in the game, and I can't believe that Italy lead by 2-0. You wouldn't have expected the German defence to have opened up quite so easily. Forward by Friedrich, and that's, again, not a ball that is going to please Jurgen Klinsmann. And, well, if he didn't have a headache before the game, he certainly has now.
Well, excuse me, in the build-up to a tournament, it's been such a tip.
There's Camoranesi pushing forward, Joe. I'll interrupt again because all of a sudden from nowhere there's another chance for Italy to attack. Zaccardo looks for Camoranesi once more. I think Zaccardo will be punished there for just pulling back on his man's shirt again.
Well, it's a lovely little flick there. And not only is it looks good, but it got to its man. Zaccardo was found, just overrun it a little bit. But the difficulty with the home nation is competitive games, you know, that they have played friendlies. And sometimes it's associated with not being up to first gear. But tonight, the question has been asked of them. They're 2-0 down, and they have got to lift the gear. They have got to lift the pace, and they've got to demonstrate that they're going to be ready for this opening tournament.
Simple things, Joe, such as picking out teammates, the things that are not happening here for Jurgen Klinsmann's side, and that shot from Frings again will be a disappointment for the manager.
They have. I mean, you've got to hand it to Italy. They did take the chances so early in this game. I don't think results, generally speaking, for Germany have been too clever, and they've come up against a team that, as we mentioned earlier at the kick-off, I mean, Italy will be going to the World Cup and they'll be going to try and win it. And Germany obviously will be trying to, as the home nation, do likewise. So it is a massive game tonight, and now we're asking a big task of Germany. Can they come back into this game?
Can they indeed? Forward comes Philippe Lahm now. Here's Ballack. Pushed forward by Deisler. It's Friedrich. Checks his options and decides to find Frings with his pass. He gets it back from Frings. Cameronese will head square, but only back to the Germans. Schneider. Looks for the man on the back post. That's not a bad ball. It'll have to be headed away there by Fabio Grosso. And the Palermo defender concedes the first corner kick to Germany of the night so far.
Yeah, it's a decent bomb coming in from the left on his right. Try to find Deisler there. It's a little bit encouraging. So see how Italy defend this one.
It's a good delivery from Germany's point of view. Headed back in by Frings. Shot on the turn, which Buffon gets behind. Well, he's missed the last 9 internationals, Gianluigi Buffon, and that shoulder injury has been plaguing him all season. He's back fit now, and what a boost that is for that man and for his country as well. You can understand, Joe, then feeling a lot more confident when he's in goal.
He's a big player, not only for his country, but also for his club. You know, I think both his club will be delighted he's back, because he's a world-class player. He's a goalkeeper of the highest standard, and I think when you've got someone there behind you, he gives you so much confidence, you know, and you're really looking for continuity, you're looking for things to settle, and that isn't the case that you can associate with Germany. You know, I think Germany it's a new breed there. We mentioned about the back four, and the 3 out of the 4 are very, very young, and they've got to come through this test. They've got to come through and grow from this experience.
De Rossi, Del Piero tries to tee it up. There's a wry smile on the face. He wouldn't be smiling like that if it was 0-0, you know. And I guess that's the luxury afforded to you when you're 2-0 up in the first 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a lovely ball played to him, and as you said, look at his face there as well. At least we're 2-0 now. We can afford to have a go at this one.
I can only imagine how his manager would have berated him if it was different. Get it out and away. It'll be out for another corner, is it? Oh, goal kick, says the official on the near side. Our Spanish assistant referee disagrees with the men in blue.
Well, we've seen one side of Jurgen Klinsmann's side, and the fact that his team haven't defended too well. Now we'll need to see that. I think if you're going to have a successful team, no matter whether it's club or at international level, you've got to get someone that scores goals, and that's a question that will be asked in the future, and it will be tonight, of the 2 guys up front. You know, well, Piero is one that he's got a track record, and Geraldino at club level, Geraldino and also Tony are trying to prove that at international level, and the German 2, the question will be asked of them as well.
Germany's last outing saw them draw 0-0 with France in Paris, and that may well have been a creditable result, but despite that, it still meant the Germans hadn't beaten a major nation in the last 14 games since that win over England in the last game at the old Wembley. Coming up in their World Cup build-up, they play the United States in Dortmund later this month. They Japan and Colombia as well at the end of May and the start of June, before those World Cup matches against Costa Rica, Poland and Ecuador. You would expect them to get through. As we take another quick look at the goals, we expect them to get through that group, but this is a big test for Jurgen Klinsmann now, isn't it? He's not the most experienced when it comes to international management, and it's a big time for him.
Oh, it's huge, and I think there's been a little bit of criticism thrown at him because he's not living in Germany. He hasn't been in the last 10-12 months. I would think nearer the World Cup he'll come back from the USA and then devote his time here. But I think if you leave it open like that, you're really going to be questioned, especially when the results don't go well. And at the start I've had tonight, everything starts getting thrown at you, and he's depended on his players. You know, he's shown a lot of faith in the young boys. He's brought them through a lot. We've come through the under 21s, and you're just hoping that they can repay that faith that he's shown in a bit. He'll be a very concerned, worried man at this moment in time.
Took over after Euro 2016 and for, of course, Jurgen Klinsmann. He had no previous coaching experience at club or country level, like Rudi Völler, his predecessor. Pushing on now is Philippe Lahm. That's not a bad ball into space there for Ballack. If he can pick out a teammate, he can. Still the danger is there. Buffon with a great save. And there's something for Jurgen Klinsmann to applaud at last.
Well, other than having a chance, they did create it with some good football down the left-hand side there. I think Schneider was involved again. And this ball eventually falls. Deiser has it. At least he makes Buffon make a marvellous save, you know, and he just volleys their left foot. And Buffon gets across. Good height for Buffon. I think he would have asked a more difficult question that had been on the floor, but again, encouraging for Klinsmann. But I think it is important they get a goal. You know, if they get a goal, then we can see a bit more light there for them. At the moment, 2-0 up Italy. You know, they can dictate the play, and we've seen them drop off and allowed the Germans having the ball in the middle of the park.
Is there something to be said, Joe, I wonder, for the fact that every time Gianluigi Buffon makes a save like that and he lands on that right shoulder as he rolls back down again, that every time he gets one of those under his belt and the shoulder is okay, that he'll grow in a little bit more confidence as well, because those are nasty injuries, aren't they? Here's Italy on the attack, though. We'll get the thoughts of Joe Jordan on that in just a second. The ball in this time from Christian Zaccardo is a poor one. Sliding challenge in is a real cruncher on the edge of the area there from Daniele De Rossi. What do you think about Buffon and that shoulder?
Well, I've got to say, I think that Juventus have been very, very good and clever. I mean, they brought in Abbiati there from Milan, so they could afford to just take, I wouldn't say take their time, I think they took the procedure, I think they took the advice that was given to them, and they certainly didn't rush Buffon. But the fact is, with every game that he plays for his club and country, and he makes saves like that, I think it's the confidence that will give the player himself.
Neat bit of build-up here from Germany, but that'll be a foul given against Miroslav Klose, a player you may well remember from the World Cup. He scored 5 goals for Germany in 2002, all of them headers. He's gone somewhat off the boil ever since, though, as the home fans enjoy themselves here in Florence. Miroslav Klose has the potential to score goals at this level. He's got 20 and 50 appearances, which aren't bad numbers, but just at the moment he's not quite in good goal-scoring form at this level.
When the two guys, I mean, the ratio is not bad, but it's at this moment in time. I mean, I think both players have scored goals for the country, and they've come in, you know, little pockets, little groups.
Spurts of goal-scoring form, must say as well, in Miroslav Klose's defence. He is currently the top scorer in the Bundesliga with 17 goals, but that's certainly not the strongest league in Europe, if you know what I'm saying. Germany on the attack. Camoranesi back to try and defend. It's pushed out to Lahm. Philippe Lahm will try and tease a ball in. It's comfortably dealt with, though. Lahm will see it go out of play for a Germany throw.
You mentioned there, Andy, about those goals. I think, you know, it's not bad, but I think at international level, I think both players have been associated with scoring goals in little groups. You know, Klose, we do know he had a tremendous time, and he's scored 5 goals. But I mean, I go look back to, I mentioned before the programme started, I associate with Germany and the great success that they've had. I mean, they're there or thereabouts, you know, whether it's winning it or getting to a final. And it's always been associated, Germany getting that far away with goal scorers. And going way back to when I was a kid, when Uwe Seeler, and then you had Müller and going through Klinsmann himself, you know, and Bierhoff. They've always had a real goal scorer, someone that's come up at that good timing, when the final tournament's coming and they get the goals, and that's always been associated with Germany getting as far as finals.
Could that man, Roberto Gilardino, be the pivotal striker that Italy need if they're to succeed? He's given away a free kick there against Per Mertesacker, who's back on his feet now, and the 21-year-old who plays for Hanover took a bit of a bump there.
It was just a clumsy, untidy challenge there. I mean, there's nothing malicious in it.
That's just the sort of pass that will be troubling Klinsmann, and I'm sure will be at the top of his list in the half-time team talk. It's sloppy to give possession to Del Piero, who has a little stab from out wide. He thought he maybe should have got a corner kick there. I think it's gone his way. Alessandro Del Piero.
It's a great position for Del Piero to be into, you know. I mean, he's predominantly right-footed, but he's got that body swerve. He can take it with his left, and as soon as he's taken it by him, he's the type of player that's looking for his two strikers, Tony and Gilardino. He's going to pick them out.
It's looking for Italian football that this new breed is coming through, the likes of Gilardino and Luca Toni, to put pressure on the old school, Del Piero and Vieri as well in the national team, isn't it? It's going to be vital for them, and Lippi's got some great choices to make there. Germany pushing on, and again they struggle really in the final third with that final pass. Gilardino goes down. I just wonder if that man will go on to light up this World Cup. Got a funny feeling about him, Joe.
Well, I mentioned the two strikers. I mean, Tony has scored goals last year and this year. I mean, he's leading this year. Gilardino has taken the step coming from Parma into Milan. What goes with playing with a massive club like Milan, and he's done it in his stride.
Offside flag is raised as Hoothead's on.
But you mentioned there about the competition he's got. Vieri, he's done it before, and it's whether he's got the hunger to do it again. I think he has been a tremendous striker. I mean, his goal ratio during his period of time in Italy has been fantastic, and also the spell he had in Spain. But when you mentioned Del Piero, yeah, he is competition, but what I think he is as well, Andy, he's a player that can link up with both these players or with one of them, you know, because I think Del Piero, not only is he a scorer of goals, he's an assist man. You know, he's a guy that can play that little pass, you know, make that chance. I think he's such an important player, not only for his club Juventus under Capella, but there's no one knows him better than Marcello Lippi, you know, and I think he will play a big part in Italy's progress.
There's another look at the offside flag that was raised on Luca Toni. Sliding in there is Arne Friedrich, and Toni goes down. Play continues until he thought they should have had a free kick there. Philippe Lahm square. Again, Arne Friedrich this time appealing for a free kick that never came, and Germany have been unlocked at the back again here. Chance for 3-0. Goes for the spectacular, right on the half-hour mark, and Alberto Gilardino knows it should have been 2 for him and 3 for Italy.
Well, he's through a great ball from Pirlo, and he's trying to chip. I mean, I don't think he's done the wrong thing. I don't know. I mean, there was a flying tackle coming in there, and he's trying to chip Lehmann. But Lehmann has, you know, he stayed up. Lehmann, he's made it difficult for him. And at the death, there wasn't. I mean, I think Lehmann's done very, very well there. But it is a miss, no question. You can see that from the reaction of Lippi. And it was an opportunity there, Gilardino, to score a goal and maybe really put this game beyond Germany.
Frings goes down under the challenge of Andrea Pirlo. Scotland fans were reminding of what he's capable of. 2 goals against the Scots in their first World Cup qualifier. It was a 2-0 win that day. Sorry to bring that up, Joe.
Yeah, I was in the stadium that night and I seen it in the game, and I've got to defend Scotland. Scotland did defend well, and it needed something to open it up, and Del Piero on the night was the man.
They played brilliantly that day, Scotland, actually, to be fair.
They did.
In both games as well.
Yeah, they did. They did the country proud, and it was something to certainly, from morale point of view, to build on.
And they drew the game in September last year, 1-1, wasn't it? Grosso scoring there.
Yeah, they did. They took an early lead, a fantastic goal. I think it was Miller who scored there, but eventually Italy wore them down. I think Grosso scored. I think.
Yeah, that's right. Grosso did score. Yeah.
It just shows you there, Del Piero just getting taken out the game there. And I think Gonzalez, the referee, was right. Worthy of a booking that.
First yellow card of the game. We've had our first 2 goals of the game. Could it be goal number 3 as Camoranesi steals in? Jens Lehmann there somehow stole it away from the feet of Mauro Camoranesi. Great goalkeeping.
Well, it's good play. Pirlo again playing that ball. Bit disappointing there. You look at that man there. Schneider really should have been back. Camoranesi had a chance there. Lehmann coming to the rescue again. But bad defending for me from Germany.
Camoranesi forward. There's Toni. Options left and right. It's Del Piero to the left. Here is Del Piero. What sort of ball has he got here? It's too close to Philippe Lahm. back to Jens Lehmann. We talk about that yellow card for Frings as well there, Joe. Stereotypically, you would expect the odd crunching tackle flying around. I know it's only a friendly international, but from a German side, you'd expect them to let you know that they are there and around you and be snapping at your heels, and we've not seen too much of that.
Even more so now than the result as it stands.
Schneider to try and tease one past Zaccardo. Here's Torsten Frings. Italy appealing for an offside flag. How about that for a cross? Schneider will put some pressure on. Zaccardo will deal with it down there deep in the right back position. Camoranesi helps him out. Oh, there's a bit of a shove from Robert Huth. And then a late challenge on Luca Toni. Just wondering if Robert Huth is getting enough game time at the moment. It's been a big talking point in Germany, how much football he's playing.
Yeah, well, he's a big, when I say a big player in a number of senses, I mean, he's a massive figure, you know, he's got a physical presence there, but yeah, it is important. I don't think you can question that. You've got to be playing first-team football. And that is not easy at Chelsea with the rare talent they have.
Here's a big chance now. Huth in with the tackle on Luca Toni. Robert Huth has played 15 games for Chelsea. 8 games for Chelsea since Christmas. Whether or not he's going to get enough football to keep his place in this team, who knows? We have probably the best example of a Chelsea player who deserves game time but just can't get it at the moment. Back in our studio in London, Carlo Cudicini. His thoughts coming up with James at half-time. I'm sure he'll be happy with what he's seen here. Italy 2-0 up if you have just joined us. Gilardino and Toni in the 4th and 7 minutes to put Italy in the lead. Passing it around with some confidence here. Camoranesi has Lahm to beat. And also Schneider. Cannavaro chips on. Huth away. Philipp Lahm, Bayern Munich player, 7th youngest German international of all time, 22 now. Flicked on by Zaccardo. Camoranesi. Oh, punching tackling from Ballack there on De Rossi. Michael Ballack has been largely anonymous in this game so far, Joe.
Yeah, he's late with his tackle there, but De Rossi, I think, sees it coming. I think he knows Ballack is there on his shoulder, and he's moved the ball on.
Nice chest down from Klose. Camoranesi in hard. Can't dispossess Podolski. Here's Schneider. Camoranesi back to help out his fullback. Covering plenty of ground as ever. Camoranesi. Here's the counter-attack again. Pushed into space. Jens Lehmann will get there first. Beat Gilardino to it. Italy, of course, go to the World Cup as Group 5 winners. 23 points from their 10 games in Group 5. Here's Christian Zaccardo of Palermo. Got a great start to his Palermo career. That got him his first cap against Finland back in November 2004. Philipp Lahm, first cap against Croatia. Also in 2004, growing in stature. Certainly in the mind of Jürgen Klinsmann. And there's a man growing in stature as well at the moment. Daniele De Rossi, key midfielder in Roma's record run of 11 straight wins. We saw that on Sunday night on this channel. Great scenes after the game.
Yeah, I don't think it should be forgotten. We mentioned the early doors are becoming easy. And Pirlo, and he's another one. De Rossi, who, you know, I think we mentioned about complementing each other, and I think they two do. I've already seen Pirlo playing 1 or 2 exquisite passes, real, you know, although Italy have been patient, when the times come, they have made chances. But I think either side of Pirlo, they've got 2 real players who work. And I think, you know, that little threesome there, they do complement each other.
Is it fair to say, Joe, that it's De Rossi is keeping Gattuso out of this side at the moment, because Camoranesi and Pirlo seem nailed on, don't they?
Yes, I think so, but I think what you have there, you have a fantastic competition, a little bit of depth, which is most important.
What a ball this is for Luca Toni. Italy still looking for goal number 3. Tony's already scored here tonight. 7 minutes to go till half-time, and Italy are looking for a third here.
Well, another terrific ball. Del Piero playing it there, just at the death there. And he's just slid it into his path. It's just gone slightly wide, and he's trying to take it in. And Huth, he's great. It's got by it there and robs him of it. But another look at Del Piero linking up with his fellow strikers and getting another chance.
Pirlo with the corner. Another header one in the penalty area there. Is that Cannavaro again? It's Grosso. They still active. Camoranesi will head it across the face of goal. Big chance, big goal, 3-0. And it's De Rossi. Third international goal for the Roma man. And in terms of how his season's going so far, it goes from good to great.
Well, you can look at it both ways. Whatever dugout you're in, but I would imagine Jurgen Klinsmann is absolutely raging there. I mean, that header, Camoranesi has beat Lamb too easily, you know. He's won the first header. And De Rossi coming in at the back, I would say unchallenged, really. I would say you've got to look at German defending is absolutely horrendous there. That's too easy, that one. And the second one, give credit to De Rossi. He's got himself into the box, but he's got... Where do I put it? Do I put it the far side? Do I put it the near side? Lehmann has got no chance of making a save there.
Well, there have been some memorable games between these two nations, particularly in the World Cup. The 82 final one, 3-1 by Italy, of course. The 1970 semi-final, again won by Italy 4-3 after extra time. This game could be memorable, even though it's not a World Cup fixture. But for the sheer amount of goals we have here, Italy 3-0 to the good, and we still have 5 minutes left here in the first half. And those who've turned out in big numbers here in Florence tonight will certainly enjoy their evening. Quite frankly, the Germans won't be able to get out of here quick enough. Bernd Schneider. Friedrich. Tries to outmuscle. Not there. He uses a bit too much strength, though, on Del Piero.
Yeah, but I think he had to do it. And from the point of view, he had to show that man there that he's up for the battle, because that's what Germany have in front of them now. They had lost the first ball to Del Piero.
Slip at the back there by Huth. When you in a position like this, you look to the leaders in your team. Where are the leaders in this German side at the moment, Joe?
Well, first of all, where are the defenders? I think they've been in total disarray, the back four. But yeah, one guys like Ballack, that's another one. I think there'll be a lot of talking going on at half-time, and I'm sure they will have their say, but it's how they play as well.
Philippe Lahm finds Ballack. He stabs on. No real pace or direction about this attack so far. Lahm's cross is blocked by Mauro Camoranesi.
I think what's got to be said in the dressing room has got to be constructive, because with Lahm, we've mentioned the youth of the back four and other departments, and you know, it's quite easy to get carried away. But
here's Ballack to try and shoot on the turn, and Nesta is there doing a pretty sterling defensive job.
Yes, the guys are there. I was trying to take it on the turn. I thought it did take a little bit of deflection, but there wasn't much of a reaction from the German players back. As I said, I think it is important when they get into that dressing room that it is constructive what they say to them, because you certainly don't want to be destroying a young team that's supposed to be trying to be put together. And that's what Klinsmann's, and that's his job now. You know, he's got very few chances between now and the opening game for the World Cup. I think he's got another 2 friendlies organised. He may try and rush and get one more in at least. And there'll be a lot of thoughtful moments between now and that opening game.
This for 4 now. Straight through it goes. Luca Toni can't make connection. Well, I wonder what you're making of this at home. Why not share your views with other fans of Italian football via the Bravo website, www.bravo.co.uk. Find the forums page and maybe at half-time share your views with fellow international football fans. Not, of course, to take away anything from James and the boys and their half-time thoughts, which I'm sure you'll enjoy as well. I can tell you the Bravo website, a real hotbed of fans' interaction. Pirlo goes down under a bit of a cruncher there from Klose. Lippi can't believe free kick's not been given. Looked a nasty one from Klose, who surges on. Torsten Frings thinks about a shot. De Rossi's there to block and to help out Grosso. Needs a good delivery here from Deisler. Buffon is back in the end, and the man who missed Euro 2000 with a broken hand, but then played every game for Italy in the World Cup in 2002 and Euro 2004 is there to comfortably push forward for De Rossi. Italy just counting down here for half-time. Zaccardo, part of that Italian under-21 European Championship winning team. Cannavaro nudges on. Pirlo, Cannavaro, now De Rossi. Chasing shadows at the moment, the Germans.
Yeah, it's not easy to play against, Andy, you know, especially 3-0. But what I would say, as patient and as composed as they have, they eventually, with a good play, they've finished it off. They've been decisive with some of their passing, and they've made chances throughout this first half, not just the first 7 minutes.
De Rossi linking up with Nesta. Here's Del Piero. Heinrich can't get near the ball. Hanging on to Del Piero for dear life there. And there is the half-time whistle. And this game is going all Italy's way at the moment. 3-0 up here at half-time. James, it's all going according to plan so far in Florence. James, I've got to be honest with you, we're a little bit stunned here on reflection as to just what's been occurring here, and I'm sure the Germans are as well. Substitutions being made. Lukas Podolski is off. Really did nothing in the first 45 minutes. Gerald Asamoah is on to replace him. And Metzelder's on as well here for this second half. Italy 3-0 up, thanks to Gilardino on 4, Toni on 7, De Rossi on 39. It's a win in the bag here for the Italians tonight. Unless we have an unbelievable upset here. But from the evidence of the first 45 minutes, Joe Jordan, seems highly unlikely.
Now, if you take overall, right from the start to the end, Italy have controlled this game. We have seen periods where Germany have had possession, and I think that even in that, I think Italy have controlled it in a way that they've just dropped off and retained a shape that's made it very difficult for Germany to get through them. And I think that they've got to show a little bit more imagination, a little bit more spirit of Germany if they can have any chance whatsoever of breaking down the Italian, I wouldn't say defence, because I don't think they've defended as such, but I think they've played very well.
Offside flag stays down here on Gilardino and then goes up late, in fact. Thanks to Gilardino's frustration. Plenty of options on the bench here. Here's the offside call, Joe.
Yeah, I think assistant referee's got that one right there. But yeah, I was just talking about the Italian defence. I don't think they've had to defend with any great degree of hardship, really. I think Germany have had positions they have now, but they haven't really broken them down.
Torsten Frings with his first touch of this second half. That's a pretty good ball. Ballack is climbing. Out of the way this time by Grosso. Asamoah up now as a new option. Ballack looking for it again on the back post. 2 around him though, and that's the difference between Italy's defending and Germany's in the first half, Joe. We were talking in the break there about the fullbacks not getting out to help their central defenders. Thoughts on that in just a moment as Germany look to try and break again here. Italy have plenty of numbers back. Forward here comes Friedrich. Asamoah gets his first touch. It's blocked down and away, and Italy will clip.
You mentioned there about the Germans back four, and I think that Klinsmann had to do something about it. They are a young bunch, and when you have a relatively young back four, you're looking for a little bit, not just leadership, but a talker, you know, an organiser, and they certainly didn't have that. And I think that was shown in the goal that De Rossi scored. You know, there was Cannavaro winning a header, and the ball has been looped over the 2 centre-backs, and you're looking Friedrich there, where is he? And he wasn't to be seen, and Huth looked all exposed, and for me, Lehmann didn't have any chance of making a save on that header.
Let's take a look at this challenge, which has left Gilardino prone. Just got his foot trodden on there, did he?
I think Fring, I think he just caught him there.
Well, it's the traditional treatment method. Squirt a load of water on it till it gets so cold you can't feel it anymore. In this day and age, how is that still the best treatment, I wonder? But anyway, we won't want to see Gilardino out for too long. I hope he can try and run that one off, Joe, I'm sure. Italy momentarily down to 10 men. Del Piero's pulled, then Tony is pulled. Daisley getting stuck in. And that's a little bit more about what we were talking about. Just the Germans letting their opponents know that they're around.
Oh, I think it's a must. You know, I think that's the least you can give your manager. You know, we mentioned about the youth of this team, and he has brought them through, brought in a lot of under-21 players, and they've got to get, I wouldn't say physical, but they've got to get in the faces of Italy a little bit. They've got to get close. We saw early doors Del Piero doing it to them, you know, preventing Germany building from the back, and Germany have got to do it likewise. They've got to get really close. I mean,
it's a pretty good ball for Grosso to chase.
I don't think they did enough of it in the first half. You know, you associate German teams in the past, whether it's home or away. We mentioned the word resilience. They could go to the toughest places, the toughest countries, the hardest places that those countries would take them to, the most intimidating places. And Germany, in the past, would stand up and be counted. And they had real warriors to go along with the ability they had. And this young team here, they've got to show some of those qualities.
Klose getting stuck in down there with Fabio Cannavaro, national team captain, of course, after Maldini's retirement. He played all of the World Cup in '98, excellent at Euro 2000, strong again at the World Cup in Japan and Korea. Fabio Cannavaro, he really is the mainstay of this Italian side, so pivotal to everything they do from the back. Schneider getting stuck in as well with Zaccardo. Jürgen Klinsmann has possibly just delivered his biggest half-time team talk of his fledgling managerial career.
It was important, not just for this game, but for the future. We were talking about Germany, home nation. You know, the build-up to this World Cup is huge for them, and he's got to be so precise with what he says to them, because he's got to build the confidence. I mean, they've taken a bit of a mauling in the first half, and they've got to come through this, not only in this 45 minutes, but in the games leading up to the World Cup, because they've got to go into that as a team with a lot more confidence than they've shown tonight.
Frings forward, nobody there. Comfortable for Buffon. You saw the slip a moment ago. Miscontrol from Gerald Asamoah. Cannavaro was a sub in the World Cup final in 2002. Gilardino seems to have run that injury off, and that's important. He's an explosive goal scorer. If you're not too aware of Alberto Gilardino, if you're just getting into Italian football, now that it's with us here on Bravo. He's had 2 seasons of explosive scoring. In 2003, 2004, he was runner-up in Serie A with 23 goals. The following year, runner-up with 24. He's got 15 so far this season for Milan. Torsten Frings, Werder Bremen star, ever present at the World Cup in Japan and Korea. There's Deisler trying to tease and get that cross in. He wins a throw there. Sebastian Deisler, who was hospitalised for depression a couple of years ago after 2 long-term knee injuries. It was the birth of his son in January 2004 that helped him pull through, and worrying times in German football for Sebastian Deisler. Here's Torsten Frings with the efforts. And in the end, Buffon was undisturbed.
No, it was worth the attempt. It was a decent build-up. Played back to Frings there, and yeah, without a doubt, it's worked. It's gone from his left foot there, and the direction is way out, but definitely worth the effort.
Would it be fair to say, Joe, Frings can only get better?
So they say. Not just for him, but certainly for Germany, and they've got to really give the coach something to sing about.
Great defending by Nesta as well to win the ball, keep it in, pick out a teammate as well. Such composure. That's not so good though. He also handball and gets it off Ballack. Alessandro Nesta, we talk about what a rock at the back Cannavaro is. Talk about Alessandro Nesta as well, first choice for club and country. He has had those ankle problems, and is there a hit of trouble there from Alessandro Nesta? Flicked on by Lucatoni. Another big scorer, top scorer in the league so far. 22 goals, 27 games. Got a hat-trick for his country in September against Belarus in that 4-1 win. Here's Michael Ballack, though, at the other end for Germany. Asamoah with his first real chance to try and conjure up something here. And it's another loose touch from him, I'm afraid. Try and use his strength here and win a corner. And he does so.
That was good defending. Cannavaro there, just preventing him getting that cross in, and just hustle him in touch of time that this man here Klose comes up and gives him support.
Here is Deisler of Bayern Munich standing over the corner kick. Here's Christoph Metzelder, half-time substitute. Deisler with the delivery. Comfortably away there. Lucatoni. Deisler gets a second bite of the cherry here. He gets Piero to the block and then just floats on him with his left foot. Ballack ball, head over. What do we make of Michael Ballack, Joe? Is he worthy of all the talk and all the hype at the moment, the German captain?
I've got to say, I think he's a big-time player. I think he's a player. He's with Bayern Munich, and I seen him last week there against Milan, and scored a fantastic goal. And really need to demonstrate that quality work, which I think he has, and that's why I think he's been associated not only with remaining at Bayern Munich, but all the top clubs in Europe. He's 29 years of age. He's the right age. He's got the experience, and it's a big year for him, not only as a person, but for his country as well, to demonstrate a club.
Asamoah looks for the glancing header. What an effort that is. Buffon at full stretch again. And Miroslav Klose finding down there with Bernd Schneider. And Germany going close. It's probably their best chance of the half so far from Bernd Schneider.
Well, it's good to see Germany coming out, the start of the second half. They've bedded themselves in, and they're starting to progress, and I'm sure that Klinsmann will take a little bit of heart from that. It is important how they react to this first half performance where they were overrun by Italy from the first minute to last.
There is Michael Ballack, who we were just talking about. Did Chelsea need that sort of player, though, with the way Frank Lampard is playing? That was the big question among some Chelsea fans I was speaking to last week.
Well, unfortunately, it depends what way you look at it. Chelsea are going to be linked with everybody that comes on the market that falls into that bracket. I mean, Ballack he's a top-class player, so therefore he's going to be mentioned in the same breath as Chelsea, whether he goes there.
Forward by Pirlo. Gilardino with the effort, and in! Del Piero for 4. And this is in danger of becoming a devastating defeat for Germany. But for Italy, what a confidence builder this is. 4-0 up. And we're not even midway through the second half here. Disaster for Jurgen Klinsmann. Surely the pressure will be growing on him as a result of this. But Del Piero gets in on the act.
Well, the cross is allowed to be put in. It was coming easy along the look at Tony, the back post. And one or the other could have won the header. The Cannavaro's got the header. Del Piero there. Little sniffer of goals on this occasion, not the maker. But from Germany's point of view, terrible defending. But from Lippi's point of view, that man there, Sean, not only can he make goals, but he can score them as well.
He can score them indeed. His 25th for his country on his 72nd cap. And Alessandro Del Piero is currently in good goal-scoring form. 9 in 23 in Serie A. He scores here for his country tonight to make it 4-0 Italy. 13 minutes gone in the second half. Not even played an hour. There's the turnover. With Pirlo pretty close. Well, this sort of scoreline, Joe, is going to send shockwaves around German football. You can guarantee that. Here's Camoranesi. Italy will keep on pressing. And at the moment, you talk about the fear factor, Joe. I mean, with 3 up front at the moment, it's a relentless attack here from the Italians.
You mentioned the 3 players up. I mean, here's the goal coming again. I mean, it's too easy, you know. The cross has been allowed to be put in there, right-footed. He's picked out 2 players. And you're right about this, 4-0. It's what story that tells, you know, to the German public in the build-up to this World Cup. I mean, he's trying to build a new team. And so far, when you look at what he's brought in, they certainly haven't lived up to his expectations.
The results haven't been great for Germany. We talked in the first half about their most recent outing, a 0-0 draw against France back in November. They had a win against China, which, with the greatest respect to China, isn't necessarily something you can boast about. They lost to Turkey 2-1. They beat South Africa 4-2. And then lost to Slovakia and drew with Holland. So they're not exactly flying at the moment in terms of form. But for me, Joe, it's the balls in the air into the box around the fullbacks, which is causing real concern. There's an offside flag. And by the way, not a bad effort there by Fabio Grosso. After the whistle was gone, here's the offside. A good call as well.
Yeah, he's yards offside. But you mentioned about those defeats there. You go down with the stats, and sometimes the stats don't tell the full story, but it is the performance. And I think that's the worrying thing, what I see here tonight. It's not, I mean, the scoreline is dreadful, but it's the performance overall. You know, it doesn't lie. The performance has not been good enough. I think the defending has been, by German standards, has been atrocious, really. And I don't want to take anything away from the strikers, because what I would say is, you know, the Italian strikers will be looking at this game and they'll be thinking, I hope the lads in midfield and at the back don't ease up, because there's more goals here. Yeah. And it's an opportunity for the likes of Del Piero and these 2 fellow strikers, Tony and Gilardino, to get their name on the score sheet again.
But you're keen to on the bench as well to come in and get involved in things as well, and that's got to be a daunting prospect for the Germans. And I'll tell you something, quite often, Joe, you might sit at home and watch a friendly international like this and think 4-0, oh, game's over, nothing else to play for. This one you don't turn off, because there are so many more goals in the offing here. It's a joy to watch this Italian team, the way they're attacking at the moment.
They got off to a terrific start, and you know, even, as I said, even when they've kept the ball and kept good possession, at the end of a lot of those moves, it's been incisive. You know, there's been that pass that's created a chance, and that's why I think Lippi will be delighted. Not only has he got the score sheet, but you know, there has been a possession and there's been an end product as well.
Last meeting between these two sides was a 1-0 victory for Italy in Stuttgart back in August 2003. Piero scored that day. Piero dusts himself down and gets back into his feet. Can't even see where Germany have a goal coming from, but that could all change through Ballack. And that, I'm afraid, folks, sums up their evening. And Lippi's getting ready to make a change. Just some final words of instructions there for Diana, and Michael Ballack's effort was pretty tame. Here's Del Piero taking a tumble. And they just bumped ankles there with Arne Friedrich. Well, it's the home fans making all the noise here. 62 minutes gone in this game, and they've been thoroughly entertained. You can see just out of shot at the moment, but around that left full-back area for the Germans at the moment. Most of the local school children are in this stadium. Gerald Asamoah goes down under the challenge. Nesta looks rather disappointed with the decision. Pirotta is getting ready to come on.
Yeah, it was a bad ball played there by Piero. A loose ball that's put to Nesta in a bit of a situation there. And he's hold him down.
It's going to be Gilardino who comes off. For Pirotta. And a standing ovation in some parts of this ground for the man who got us off and underway in terms of goal scoring with just 3.5 minutes on the clock. And it really did open the floodgates, to coin an old phrase here.
He'll be disappointed and delighted, well, Gilardino, with the fact that he scored the goal. Also disappointed he's going off, because I think he'll be looking at the remainder of this match that is possibly adding to his tally.
Dangerous moment. Ballack will take this free kick for Germany. And again, pretty comfortable. And the jeers around this Stadio Artemio Franchi in Florence for the German side, for the German captain, and for this free kick.
Well, Buffon just comes across, now that little token jump there. There was no danger, really. He's got it covered. Ballack just couldn't get it over the wall and down. Got over the wall, but just couldn't really get it to dip. There was neither direction nor power on that to trouble Buffon.
Simone Pirotta putting some pressure on. He's back for the first time in 16 months after Roma's record run. He's been in great form. Did play in all 3 games at Euro 2004, didn't he? Scoring against Bulgaria as well, but just drifted into the international wilderness a little. Philippe Lahm finds Ballack. There's Deisler. Friedrich.
Well, as you can see, Andy, they're just withdrawing themselves a little bit now. And Pirotta just playing in the middle of the park. I mean, he's got great energy, as Pirotta. I think he's showing that for his club. And he's a guy that can go from the middle of the park and support that strike. And I think, look at Tony's the one that's going to play up there and get people like Pirotta and Del Piero just in support. But they can create chances with that formula as well, can Italy.
Bastian Schweinsteiger is getting ready to come on. Here is Ballack. How important is a clean sheet here, Joe, for Italy, just for the morale boost that would bring? Do they care when they've scored 4?
No, definitely. I mean, Italian football, you know, you go back the decades there, their game was built certainly in the 60s, you know, Herrera and people like the great Inter Milan teams, that it was defence. But I think nowadays, And since the Milan under Sacchi and Capello, they're a lot more forward thinking. But the basis of any team is to make sure you don't concede goals. And I think from Buffon, from a personal point of view, him coming back in, he'll want to keep a clean sheet. And some of these terrific markers in front of him, you know, Nesta and Cannavaro and the two full-backs who are fitting their way into a back four, and they'll want that. So I'm sure that what your man Lippi has done in just forming a middle five has got a view of that. Just try and keep it nice and tight, nice and clean, play on the break.
A couple of changes made by the Germans. Tim Borowski is on, so too Bastian Schweinsteiger, Bernd Schneider and Thorsten Frings coming off. Tim Borowski of Werder Bremen, pretty strong in the air. The Italians will have to watch out for him. Pushing up here is Sebastian Deisler. Here's Michael Ballack again, a poor effort from him. Headed on by him once again. Chelsea fans hearing about this potential £120,000 a week contract that we hear about in the papers will be scratching their heads on this form from Michael Ballack tonight. He hasn't looked a player worthy of his reputation so far in what, to be fair to him, is a struggling German team at the moment. Cannavaro has taken a bit of a bump. No, but see the funny side.
Yeah, it's good. He's got up and he's not making much of it. But I mean, he's not had the best of evenings, his Ballack, and neither have Germany. But he is definitely better than what he's shown tonight. The thing is with a player, any German player, is the frustration that being on this sort of hiding can bring, and you've got to really keep your discipline and not lose the place, and not fall foul of sort of losing your disciplines and reacting in such a way where you get silly bootings and then find yourself getting sent off.
Bastian Schweinsteiger forward. Christian Zaccardo with the foul. To the Athens Olympics did Christian Zaccardo. He was part of that under-21 championship winning team in 2004 as well. Same summer he was signed by Palermo from Bologna. Just growing in stature, but Italy here looking to defend. Oh, what a save by Buffon! Stunning reflexes, a fine reaction save from one of the best keepers in the world.
Well, I think it's a deflection. An Italian player, I think it was Tony. Look at Tony. I think it's going in. It's unfortunate, but what a save. I mean, I mentioned about the save of Lehmann. When that match is only that's better because, as it was said there, he managed to get around, whereas Lehmann put it into the path. In this occasion here, Buffon has put it round the post for a corner.
And here comes that corner. Doesn't beat the first man, though. That's Nesta who clears away. In a real battle of strength down there with the big man, Gerald Asamoah. Former Ghanaian, or I say former Ghanaian, born in Ghana. And that's too close to Buffon. What a save that was, though. Any doubts about his sharpness, his fitness? Really put to bed there. This man is getting back close to the form that earned him a £32.5 million move from Parma when he was at the top of his game. He's only 28, of course, and he's nowhere near reaching his peak age, really, as a keeper, Joe.
No, he started, first team football very young, and he's been so consistent with Parma, and then he's moved to Juventus, where he's continued to perform, continued to win medals.
Ballack, what a bad pass. It's blocked down and away, and again, disappointing final product there. Nesta just down on his haunches a little bit. Wonder if he's just got a bit of an ankle problem there again. He still looks as though he may be limping a little bit as he just pushes out there, and just wonder if he might be brought off soon, because of course these players all have big club commitments at the moment. We're in the middle of those Champions League knockout ties, of course. Grosso does well to keep it in. Just the one change made by Italy so far. Nesta finds Pirlo. Here's De Rossi, a goal scorer tonight, 1 of 4. You have just joined us. Gilardino scored in the 4th minute, Tony in the 7th, De Rossi in the 39th for a 3-0 half-time Italy lead. Alessandro Del Piero adding to that 12 minutes after the break. Booth forward. Philippe Lahm. Schweinsteiger. And you can just hear the jeers around the stadium there. Timborowski, disappointing from him. Scored 7 goals from midfield so far this season. Timborowski. Nowhere near it.
Now when you look at it, any attempts that they've had on goal or near goal or at goal, they've all come from a lot further out than Klinsmann would have wanted. Okay, the likes of Ballack has won a number of attempts, but none of them have really troubled Buffon, and they have failed really to get behind the Italian back four and get any crosses in.
He's got a problem.
I think he's just playing there a little bit.
It's his knee.
I don't think Marcello will take any chances either with him or Nesta. As you mentioned, the fact it's all games at the weekend are important, but when you're Juventus and AC Milan or Inter, games that are going for the championship, the players would be, especially when the score line reflects it, you have the opportunity to make those changes.
Looking for Camoranesi from the free kick there. He can't control, and everybody stopped. Lahm and Huth there. Both stopped. Camoranesi couldn't quite believe it.
Well, a little bit of indecision there, and really someone, as we've already mentioned, someone in control of the back four, and you can see the indecision there. Someone has really got to be decisive, and that is shown really throughout this game, especially defensively. Yeah, I've struggled a lot with Germany, and there's a lot of thought going through Jurgen Klinsmann and his backroom staff, and how they can come through this and try and build again. Because time's running out for them.
Garotta and Camoranesi between them, chasing down on Schweinsteiger. Posted back in, Buffon shouts, claims, and clear away.
Well, that's a cross. Deisler's put the cross in, but too much height on it, and he's coming clean and confident, taking any problems away from his defenders.
Here is Asamoah to try and run at Grosso. He's managed to pick out a teammate rather fortuitously. Borowski it was. Again, the cross doesn't beat the first man from Philippe Lahm. Half an hour gone here in this second half. And it's been a stroll in the park for Italy so far. Plenty of time down there for Zaccardo from Deisler's cross. Booth with a foul in the back on Tony.
Just looking at that Lindsay in there with Zaccardo, I'm sure that Buffon would have given him a shout. And he gets it clearance off to look at Tony, who backs in and gets a free kick. But it's that, I mean, I think that you look at the two central defenders that Italy have put out tonight, you know, there's an assurance about them. There is a presence, and that's no disrespect to the players that are playing for Germany, because they've got youth and they've yet really to earn that, whereas the likes of Cannavaro, Nesta, they went through that. They've come through those early years and have grown in stature. And it's just whether Klinsmann has the time to try and get that into his players at the back. He may have to go relying, maybe look for someone with a little bit more experience that at this moment in time is not in his squad.
Many of these players in this squad, young players, many of them playing their football in Germany, if not all of them, bar Robert Huth. I just wonder if that has anything to do with it, Joe. German football not exactly at its strongest at the moment in the Bundesliga, certainly not in the top 3 leagues in the world.
No, but they've still got a great tradition, even in the last World Cup, where they went there and there wasn't much thought given them to progress as their predecessors had done, and they did so. They had, as far as actually progressing, they had a fantastic tournament. They got the luck, they got the breaks, but you can't for the life of me think that, and on this performance tonight, that this German team could get to a final.
Wouldn't it be just like Germany, though, to go on and play well at the finals?
Yes, it would.
It's happened before.
Yes.
13 minutes left to go here in Florence. So good ball by Zaccardo to be dealt with, and was. Camoranesi will get back in, though. Still Camoranesi challenging with Jens Lehmann. And Jens Lehmann says that was an unfair challenge. Camoranesi says I was going for the ball.
That's not like Lehmann to have a moan. He likes a moan now and again, but I mean, he's got to go for the ball. Yeah, I think he may have catch Lehmann, and Lehmann is doing his job and doing it well, coming out there trying to smother the ball. But Camoranesi, he's got every right to go for it there, even if it's 4-0. He sees the opportunity to get in the 5th.
Those school kids that we were talking about earlier on, certainly making their presence felt inside this stadium, raising the noise level a bit as Del Piero comes over to take the corner just down in front of them. Cannavaro tracking back, makes the challenge. What an athlete he is. Here's Del Piero. Camoranesi onside, needs a good cross, looks to pick out his teammate and drilled in again. It's non-stop attack here, it's Perotta. Camoranesi. Grosso finds Pirlo. Piero with the layoff. Grosso again. All the way back to Buffon. You have to go back a long way to find an Italy defeat in their recent run of fixtures, all the way back to October 2004. Very early on in their World Cup qualifying campaign. It was their 3rd game against Slovenia, which they lost by 1-0. They haven't lost since. Fine set of results. And now, as we coast towards the end of this match, more changes to be made here. Marco Materazzi is coming on. Del Piero getting stuck in on Friedrich. Alessandro Nesta can't continue anymore with that knee problem. That'll be a worry, I'm sure, for fans of AC Milan. Marco Materazzi, who played 27 Premiership games for Everton 5 or 6 years ago before his move back to Perugia in '99. Del Piero's work is done. Quick wave for the home crowd in Florence, who've been impressed with what they've seen. Barone is on as well. He makes the challenge on Asamoah. Doesn't get near the ball. What will the other big guns in European football, world football, be making of Italy, I wonder, in this performance that they've conjured up here against the World Cup hosts?
On the face of it, Andy, it's a massive scalp, you know, to beat Germany 4-0. I mean, that is decisive. That really does send out a message. I mean, the full story isn't really described by that, because Germany have been poor, but you can't take anything away from Italy. Individually, as a team, they've done well.
Deisler's corner kick again, and they've got the goal. And it's Robert Huth of Chelsea who salvages just a modicum of pride here for the Germans. It's a teardrop in the ocean in terms of how this game has gone, and you can see that by the low-key celebration.
Well, you can see the dejection in this man here. He's been beaten as Buffon. It's a marvellous strike. It's a little bit loose on the marking, but Huth has really rattled that one in, and Buffon just sinks to his knees because he's had one or two fantastic saves, and he'd be disappointed he was beaten, but you can't take it in the win. It was a terrific strike.
Robert Huth with his second goal for his country. It's been a mixed time for him. He played all through the Confederations Cup. He got sent off in June against Northern Ireland for handball. Borowski goes down under a pretty hard challenge. Referee allows the advantage to be played here. Can Germany take advantage? It's Bastian Schweinsteiger. Deisler, Borowski, Ballack. All of a sudden they're looking for a second goal here. That would distort the reflection of this game. It has been a thrashing by the Italians tonight. Has that gone out of play? Assistant flags on the near side. And I know the scoreline is 4-1, Joe. It has been a 4-0 sort of game, though.
Yes, it has. I think in the first half they really put it beyond the reach of Germany, and to get that goal in the first 10 minutes of the second half really put it beyond them. And I think Italy have taken the foot off the pedal. And I think what Lippi has done is use it as an exercise as well. You know, he's just contained Germany a little bit. He'll be disappointed. I've got to add that goal was conceded, but he's allowed his formation. He just altered a little bit and played a 5 in the middle, just tucked him in and try and prevent Germany from being too creative. And they've slipped up a bit to a set play, which, as I said, Lippi and Buffon individually, no coach likes to see goals going in, and as a goalkeeper I think he'll be disappointed because, as I mentioned, he has had one or two marvellous moments.
Gerald Asamoah trying to power through here. Cannavaro goes down. Asamoah says he never touched him. Helps him back to his feet. Let's take a look. He didn't.
No, I think he's lost his balance here. He's caught his stride.
Deisler again. They've scored from one set piece. They won't score from this one. Here's the second phase. Deisler again. That'll stay in. Two blue shirts around him. The Italian defenders push out. Just over 5 minutes left to go in this game, and there won't be much time added on for stoppages here. Deisler stabs it to the byline. It's floated in by Friedrich. Uncomfortable there for Buffon, who will be disappointed having conceded that goal, especially after those two fine saves, one in the first half, one in the second. But overall, pretty good day at the office.
Well, it has overall. I don't think Lippi could imagine of winning by 3 goals, 3 clear goals. But it's not just that. I think it's the performance. You know, you're looking at 2 major forces here. All you can do is go out and do your best, and they've done that against Germany, the host, and one of the favourites for the World Cup, and he wins 4-1. You know, if it ends like that, and he'll be absolutely delighted. And some of the players that have actually taken this opportunity to demonstrate, you know, one like Piero, who's a very experienced player and has played in major tournaments before, and 1 or 2 that are still striving to get into that squad. And I think there's not many players here that have not taken the opportunity with both hands, and they'll be looking at this performance individually and collectively as a job well done.
Well, what have you made of it at home? I'm sure the discussion will carry on long into the night for all of you hooked up at home. www.bravo.co.uk, the website address. Find the Football Italia forum on there. And I'm sure many of you will be exchanging views tonight, and of course building up to all the Serie A action which returns with 2 live games this weekend. Free kick here, which is not met with approval from the Italian defence, and they will have to try and weather this little mini storm here. Ballack will fancy it again, although Huth, I tell you, has got a big blistering drive on him. Carlo Cudicini will know all about that. I'm sure his fingertips will have been burnt in training at times from some Robert Huth free kicks. He can certainly hit them. I think he fancies this, you know, but will Ballack, the captain, overrule him? 2.5 minutes in the game. I'll tell you one thing, you wouldn't want to be in that wall. Would be looking at another change, perhaps, down there, if there's time. It's Huth, it's drilled in, it could go anywhere. It almost falls to Sebastian Deisler. Huth battling in there for the loose ball again.
Well, eventually got it cleared. And another substitution. I think we've got to the stage of the game where it is, when there are substitutions like that by both countries, both teams here, it can be a little bit untidy, and I think that's what's happened, especially from Italy's point of view. I think where they have controlled the game and looked really smooth and confident.
Big moment for that man, Manuel Pasquale of Fiorentina. First appearance for the national team. Not a bad game to come into. Zambrotta not available due to injury, of course, here, so Pasquale gets the call up. Counter-attack in the offing here, perhaps, though. Yakinta. Huth is back there again. He has Germany's lone goal tonight. Yakinta looking to push on. It's been an up-and-down, turbulent season for him. He has appeared in 9 of the last 10 internationals, make that 10 of the last 11 now, after that fine season with the Champions League qualifiers, Udinese, helping their cause with 13 goals in Serie A last season. The side have to defend here, though. Swept away pretty comfortably. And in the closing seconds here, it's been, Joe, a fairly easy night, to say the least.
Yeah, it's been comprehensive from Italy, and it's given Lippi, I would think, a lot of pleasure. Not just the scoreline, but the way that his lads have went about it. You know, they went for the jugular early doors, got the goals, and continued and played in a way that possession was maintained, and they retained the ball well, but it was an end product to it. But for Jurgen Klinsmann, I mean, he has got such a headache tonight. How does he go about repairing the damage? When you come into games like this and you try to resolve problems that you know that you have, and he's come into this game tonight with those problems, and he comes out of it with more problems, and they're big ones.
There will be a lot of head scratching going on in the Klinsmann household when he does get back. Sebastian Deisler. We have the United States coming up at the end of the month, as we said earlier on. Japan and Colombia as well. Last being shot from distance, which doesn't cause too much of a problem for Buffon. Philippe Lahm it was with the effort. Took a deflection, though, and this will be the last attack of note in the game. Deisler again. Is there one last goal coming from this German side? There isn't. That is the full-time whistle in Florence. Gilardino, Toni, De Rossi, Del Piero, the 4 scorers for Italy in a comprehensive 4-1 victory. Robert Huth with the lone German goal. Headaches for the World Cup hosts after this friendly. For the Italians, though, I'm not sure what the Italian for a good day at the office actually is. This was it though. James, what